Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Karen Denton, your KSC Bidding Consultant. I wanted to see if I could go live. I wanted to get on here and go live and see if you guys want to pick my brain. Yeah, it's been so different, y'all, lately. It's really been different. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about my journey. And again, I'm Karen Denton. I'm the owner of KSC Commercial Cleaning Services, and our newest business is our consultant program. So, where we teach cleaning companies how to bid on contracts. And I just really, the reason that I started that is because, like, I work with a lot of subcontractors, and I used to take them with me on walkthroughs of opportunities that I knew I was going to give to them. And I would take them on walkthroughs and so that they could get their price that they want instead of me bidding on it first and then offer them what I feel I could offer. So when I would do that, they wouldn't even try or ask any questions. They would say, no, you just do it and I'll go with your numbers. And that kind of was a light bulb then that, wow, you guys got to learn this if you're going to do this business. And then I'm giving you the opportunity to pick your price. So that's first. That's what made me want to do this. And then getting online and hearing the other struggling cleaning companies, they think they need clients. They don't need clients. First they need to learn how to win that client. I still, this one story still sticks with me. Actually, it was in AJ's group. A guy, he was so excited. You could hear it in the text. He was so excited. He had a lead. Everybody was congratulating him. I'm congratulating him. Everybody's congratulating him. And then he came back and said, what do I do next? And I'm going to tell you, that was the push. That was the push. Because it just don't make sense to me that you buy leads and you don't know what to do with it, or even know what it is. A lead can be me. It could be somebody you meet at a networking event. It could be a referral. It could be a cold call, an opportunity, like a name for a cold call. Like, anybody can be a lead. And then when you get a lead, the first thing you need to do is call. Call them and schedule a walkthrough. You want to call them, schedule a walkthrough. That's first. And then do some research on the company. See who they are, what they do, how big are their facility. Like, just have an idea first. Yeah, there's just so much to it. You have to really prepare for a walkthrough. And that involves researching the clients, seeing, like, how big is the place. You get a little excited. You see what kind of client it is. So research the client. Yeah, I don't really know if I'm live, but I wanted to get on here because you guys don't comment. So I want some questions. I want to help you guys, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to have me live and ask questions. So I made me some notes in case don't nobody get on here that I can still talk about. You know, like even if you're a solo, if you're solo today, I'm going to drop some gems about bidding growth and getting your cleaning company in front of the right clients. You know, and if you saw my video yesterday or since that panel event, it showed me that my business is at another level. Like, I didn't plan for this level. It just like happened. And I see that I'm at a different level. So one of the most common mistakes is how to stop underpricing. See, and I'm gonna give you one example of how you can overprice, like as soon as you start, because when you start, you're pricing just for you. So, so when you grow to a place where you have another person or two, you find that you can't even give that account to them to work even as an employee because you won't make no money because you bid it in your head just for you. And I did it too at the beginning. I'll clean it for that. Not having no system, not having no way to get the numbers, not even knowing how to get the numbers. Like, what do you do? We go out our head at first. I'll clean it for that. And then when you see something that's really a nice size, you think you need 1,000,000 people. I remember doing that. Thinking, like, I get a project, especially a construction project. Get a construction project, it'd be like, say, 50,000 square feet. I think I need 1,000,000 people and stuff. There's so much stuff you learn in this process. You know, okay, so that's one. So what do you need to prepare before a walkthrough? Well, you want to make sure you have a measuring tool. You want to make sure you have a notebook. People use their phones. I'm still old school. I have my notebook. I have a notebook. And I have an app that I use called Company Cam. And it takes my pictures and it's amazing. It's amazing. Let me see if I could get in here on the desktop. Let me see. Because I usually don't get on a desktop. Oh, yeah, I can. Let me share my screen. All right, let me share my screen so you can see this. Okay, so this is my company cam. This is all the pictures from all of my projects. Like, I have pictures. See, this here is my portfolio. All of my pictures from all of my walkthroughs. Every walkthrough. Yep. So this is how that looks. Company cam. I got tons and tons of pictures. Yep. So this is what the company cam does. Let me stop sharing. So that's the company cam that I use, and it keeps all of my photos. And then when I share it, it has my company stamp on it. I can share it with the stamp or without the stamp. And of course, I share it with the stamp. And I use it for my team because when you share it, it also has the address of the pictures, the location name and the address, and they have the address how to get there. They just hit the link and it opens up the map. So it's a great tool. A lot of construction companies use it, but I use it. My sister tapped me into it, and I love it, and I've been using it ever since. So you want to, like I said, you want to prepare for the walkthrough. I give my mentees a walkthrough sheet so that they don't forget nothing to ask, or because if you're not experienced with it, there's a lot of questions you should ask. Like, first, this is what I've seen, and this is one good tip. When you get there and you introduce yourself, because you're already communicated through email or phone or something, so you just come, you shake hands, whatever, and let them lead. Even if you think you know the facility, let them lead, because you might know the facility, but you don't know the scope of work. So you have to let them lead, and then if you see opportunities, then you ask about that opportunity, because this is what I teach and this is what I do. If I'm walking in a space, and say, for example, we walk past an area that's dirty, I call those opportunities. So that when I say opportunity, that's what I mean. So you walk past a space that's dirty, and she or he didn't mention that space. And when you ask about it and they say, no, we're not worried about that, that's an indicator. That's an indicator that you need to do a deep clean. Because let me tell you why. Because if you don't clean that one area, and this is not just for that client, this is for anybody to see. If you saw it, so will somebody else that come in the building. And to know that they have a cleaning company and that area is dirty doesn't look good for you. So if you do a deep clean, you're going to get all those opportunity areas. So when you start the scope of work, those areas that wasn't in the scope are already clean. So then it makes your company look good, because now everything is clean and you're maintaining the scope of work. So you always want to schedule a deep clean first if there's an opportunity. Now, the whole place is an opportunity. You need a deep clean. But if you have an area that's an opportunity, you need to do a deep clean. And then the most critical part is how to build a proposal with confidence. And the only way you can build a proposal with confidence is to collect the data on the walkthrough. Now, I got my phone on mute and it's still making noise. I apologize for that. But a walkthrough essentially is an opportunity to collect data. It is not to go there and see what the building look like, just look like. Like, what is that? You can't bid on what it looked like. You got to get the data. And the data consists of square footage. Sometimes square footage is not going to get it. You got to make sure you take pictures of that scope of work, because sometimes the scope of work don't even equal to the square footage. It could be so daggone dirty, the square footage won't matter. You got to look at what the work entails. So there's so many different ways you can bid based off of the scope of work. Now, you can have a large square footage, and all you got to do is vacuum. They don't even want you to touch the desk, and all you got to do is collect trash. It's not going to be the same pricing as if it was filthy dirty in the same space or a smaller space. So it's just a lot. You have to collect the data. You just have to. And there's 3 things you should do before you bid on any contract. You should first know your numbers. How much do you charge per hour? how much is the supplies that you're going to need to take on the site? Because not too often do you get blessed with a client that supply their own supplies. And a lot of times I've had clients that do supply their own supplies, but they got store-bought stuff. I don't use that. My team don't use that. They don't know how to use that. I train them on specific products, and those products are healthy and safe. And so I don't always want to use the client's products. So I just need to say that too. And then when you get your labor and your supplies together and everything, you must create a profit. You have to add profit to your bid. We don't just pay people and that's it. The company got to make money too. So you got to think about that, because your company got to pay the people. Don't think about it as you. Take you out of the equation. So you're not going to do a job and only make enough to pay somebody and there's no profit. That's not business. That's not business. So you have to add a profit. It could be anywhere from 20 to 30% profit margin. And then this is critical too, because a lot of clients try to send me pictures. Never bid on pictures alone. You must see the scope in person. You bid off of them pictures, you'll be mad at yourself when you get in the building, because the way you priced it based on the pictures, and then you get in there. Don't do that. Go see the scope of work. Don't let people pressure you. I don't care how bad you want this client. Do not let people pressure you into giving them a flat rate price. Not in commercial. There's no flat rate price, because in commercial, every single building is different. So that means the scope of work is different. So in commercial, I don't know about nobody else, but for me, in commercial, there is no set price. I don't even know how you could do that, because every building is different. So I guess I'm not really live because nobody's getting on here, but I'm gonna still stay on here and talk. So let me see. Do the walkthrough in person, and then you guys, if you're struggling with winning contracts and you just need someone to talk you through it or something, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. Because I feel, and this is just my opinion, I feel that people can learn better if they're not in the financial strain. So make money as you learn. And it don't got to be me, but you got to get a mentor or a coach to guide you through this business. I'm telling you, I wish I had known that like years ago. But when I found out, that's what I did, because I couldn't get past the ceiling. Because you will get to a ceiling in this business, and then you'll get past it, then you'll hit another ceiling, because every level is a ceiling. And I still got hope for that that university project, because they didn't award it yet. And based off of my company, I bid it what was fair for my company. And there was even a franchise in the bid. And I can't wait to tell y'all what their bid was compared to the others. So, and that's why, too, you don't need no franchise. You need to start on your own. And I commend you guys who start on your own, because I started as a franchise. But as I was going through as the longer I was there, I had learned that I really didn't have a business. I really didn't have no business. I worked for them people. And then when them people told me, because I had one of my team members had got a complaint, so they told me, since I got a complaint, because they was changing the rules every year. There's something different. So they said they're not giving me no opportunities for 6 months because of that one complaint. And mind you, I had 25 accounts for them. I had 25 accounts for them. And they told me because somebody got a complaint, they're not giving me no opportunities for 6 months. 6 months? Shit, 6 months to me is a year. You gonna hold my business for a year? That's when I found out I really wasn't no business under them. And I said, it's time to go. That's when I said, it's time to go. I said, I'm not going to leave until I can grow. It's like I said, I had 25 accounts. I said, I'm not going to leave until I can grow my personal business to make the same money that I was making off the franchise. And I did it faster than I thought because I was building in silence on referrals, because being at the franchise doing 25 sites, I was hiring a lot of people, so people were starting to know me, so I started getting opportunities. And so I listen, at first they told me, oh yeah, you get your own opportunities and you won't have to buy them. Well, I didn't think I would have to buy them, but what I found out is if I leave, those accounts, my personal accounts, don't go with me. So I said, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving them people my accounts no more. I'm going to keep them for myself. And that's what I started doing. And I'm telling you, I built that thing faster than I thought. And I really can't tell y'all how I did it, but I did it. Because I was making $50,000 a year with that franchise. So I end up making that my personal business, and I opt to leave. And then when I opted to leave, guess what they said? They said, you sure you don't want to give that business to your daughter or somebody? They didn't want to let me go because I was rolling. And I was serious about my business. And so my daughter didn't want it, but my granddaughter did. I transferred that business to her. She still got that business. She don't got as many as accounts that I gave her, but she's still in business. And her problem was she didn't want to hire people. She didn't want to manage people. So when you don't want to manage people, you can't grow. You can't grow if you don't want to manage people, because you need people in order to grow. So she just got one employee. She's still in business. But you guys, I just keep pushing, because once you get out there, and this is key, once you get out there and let people know who you are, and I'm serious, you got to keep going to the repeated events that you then keep going to. Let the people keep seeing you. That's what I did. Even though there might not have even been no opportunity, because at that time, I didn't know what was the opportunity for me anyway. So I kept showing up, and I noticed that I started seeing the same people. And I said, you know what? I'm going to still keep showing up, because I want them same people that I recognize to keep seeing me. And so that started that. And then I went to a networking event one time, and this was game changer for me. I went to a networking event one time, and there was a woman there who I highly admired. And I'm sitting beside her, and I'm telling her how nervous I am. And she said, I'm nervous too. I said, really? She said, everybody here is nervous. I said, really? So When she told me that everybody at the networking event was nervous, now I go in there with confidence because now I'm not going to be nervous. I just changed it around. But that's what she told me. And I said, really? You mean to tell me everybody in here is nervous to network? And like coming to the networking event. She said, even her. And I was so shocked. After that, networking events was a shoo-in because I said, shoot, everybody nervous. Let me not go in there nervous. So that's a quick tip too, because I didn't know that. But she said everybody was nervous. So if everybody's nervous, just go. Yep, so I really don't have much more to say. Nobody got on here. So that's okay, but I'll try to get on another day. But I hope what I did say gave you guys some value. So I see you guys on the next level. See you on the next level. Yep. All right, y'all. Have a blessed weekend.